We begin tonight with those breaking new developments. Former President Donald Trump claiming on his Truth Social account that he's been indicted in connection with his mishandling of classified documents. Two sources familiar with the matter confirmed the indictment on 7 charges. This all relates to allegations he improperly handled classified documents after leaving the White House and obstructed the government's efforts to get them back. The former president has received a summons to appear in U.S. District Court on Tuesday. The historic indictment makes the twice impeached former commander-in-chief the first former president to face federal criminal charges. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington on this breaking story.
Tonight, former President Donald Trump has been indicted for a federal crime, a first in American history. It stems from his handling of classified documents. Details are limited as the indictment is still under seal, but 2 sources briefed on the matter tell NBC News a grand jury is recommending 7 charges, including false statements and conspiracy to obstruct. Former President Trump made the announcement himself on his social media platform Truth Social, where tonight he's fiercely denying any wrongdoing, calling the case politically motivated.
I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong, and we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years.
The former president is expected to surrender on Tuesday to a federal courthouse in Miami, where activity around the case has ramped up in recent days. The independent special counsel, Jack Smith, who's running the investigation, had originally convened a grand jury in Washington, D.C., but appears to have shifted to Florida, where more than 100 classified documents were discovered at Mr. Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate last year. Also under scrutiny whether the former president obstructed the federal government's efforts to get the materials back. It's just one of several legal cases surrounding the former president, who's already been indicted on state charges of falsifying business records in New York. The indictment landing just as the 2024 Republican presidential primary is ramping up, with the former president the clear frontrunner, raising the stakes on a politically explosive prosecution. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And minutes after former President Trump announced he'd been indicted on his Truth Social account, he sent out a fundraising appeal citing the criminal charges. A spokesperson for the special counsel declined to comment tonight. And 13 WREX's Samantha Soto spoke with local state representatives from both parties tonight about Trump's indictment. Sam, how are they reacting tonight?
Well, Brittany, I spoke to Democratic Representative Dave Vella and Republican Representative John Cabello, both representing the state line area in Springfield, and will be keeping a close eye on the indictment as it moves forward. Vella saying after spending a long time as the criminal defense attorney himself, he knows the federal government does not indict anyone without reason, though he says many people believe it's all a ploy.
I've been in the system long enough to know that there are no conspiracies. There's people get indicted because there's evidence to prove they did something wrong, and the system will play itself out. And if he didn't do it, he'll be found not guilty. And if he did, then he'll be found guilty.
On the other side, Representative John Cabello says while he saw it coming, the public needs to wait until the former president is found innocent or guilty. And while he says a lot of people think this indictment is politically motivated, it won't stop him in his 2024 campaign for presidency.
I mean, when they do this, watch his poll numbers. His poll numbers actually go up because people honestly believe that they are targeting and using the Department of Justice to go after a presidential candidate.
We also heard back from Republican State Senator Andrew Chesney, who is reacting tonight. He says, quote, "This is a sad day for America. These are serious charges that President Trump will need to defend, since it is widely known that a similar investigation is also taking place involving President Biden. I hope Americans can count on an equal level of scrutiny in both investigations," end quote. Brittany.
Samantha, thank you for that local reaction tonight. And 13 WREX will continue to follow the developments regarding the former president's indictment. Stay tuned both on air and online at WREX.com as new information becomes available.